Afternoon everybody, sorry I'm a bit out of breath. It's been a really busy day today, but today I want to talk about the truth of selling on eBay, which hopefully other people will tell you, but this is the reality of selling on eBay, whether it's clothing, if you're selling warehouse clearance goods, literally anything on eBay. All these points, hopefully you can get some gain from them, so if you do, please leave a like, please leave a comment, please subscribe. I'm trying to grow this YouTube channel, so it eventually will be another revenue stream, and I can talk about that as well then. So we'll get started. Number one is inconsistent sales. I don't know any reseller that says they have exactly the same amount of sales every single day, day in, day out. Sometimes you'll get 20 sales a day, sometimes you'll get 3 sales a day. You have to plan for it to be inconsistent. That is part of the parcel of owning a business. Obviously, you can have a business plan and try and keep your targets to be, I don't know, 10 sales a day. If you're listing 10 and selling 10 a day, brilliant. But there will be days where you'll sell more than 10, and there will be days where you sell less than 10. So keep that in mind. It's not to discourage anybody at all. I think if you're getting started on eBay, brilliant. In my opinion, it's a really good business model to get started in. But just plan for inconsistent sales and don't be disheartened when you have no sale days, and also when you have good sales days and good sales weekends. Take it as it comes. Number two, it's a business. Treat it like a business, especially if you're doing it as a business seller. Like myself, for example, I have to pay for a business account on eBay at a store, a shop store. I have to pay for any other listings over my store amount. I have a unit I have to pay for. I have to pay for cost of goods. There's costs involved. So it's a business. Treat it like a business. What I mean by that is stick to your listing habits. So if you want to list 5 a day, list 5 a day. Don't take days off. Obviously, you'll miss a day here and there. But if you do miss a day, make sure you make up for it the next day. Stick to your consistent habits that are outlined within your business plan, no matter how small or how big. It is a business, so treat it like a business, and that will get me on to some other points in this video as well. But number two, it's a business, treat it like a business. Number three is something that I actually struggled with in the beginnings. It takes time, like anything in life. If it was easy and quick to do, then everyone would do it. It takes time to build a store, and it takes time to build your customer base as well. So do not be disheartened if you start selling on eBay and within, say, 6 months, your sales are okay, but you're not really getting the sales that you thought you might have. It takes time. It takes time to grow a store. It takes time to develop your feedback. It takes time for eBay to recognize that you're listing consistently within the algorithm. It takes time to learn things. And I'm a big believer in learning as you go. You can plan for things, and you can get as much knowledge on a topic as you can, which you should do, and I think you should do that. But there's always going to be things that you learn along the way. I learn things every single day. I learn how to sort of like change things in my listings. I learn different items, different brands, different keywords. So it does take time to grow a store, and it takes time to develop your knowledge on eBay. So again, please don't get disheartened if you've been doing this for 6 months, a year, and you're not really seeing the results that you want to see. There are reasons for that. Maybe you're not listing consistently. Maybe your items that you're listing have a poor sell-through rate. Maybe your customer service isn't up to par. Maybe your shipping policies aren't up to par. There can be numerous reasons for that, but it takes time. So please bear with it. Number four is being consistent. You have got to be consistent with anything in life, and eBay is no different whatsoever. You have got to be consistent to make sure eBay knows you're being consistent. You've got to be consistent across everything. Your listings, how many you're listing a day, your photographs, your descriptions. In my opinion, you should, if you're selling one particular type of thing, like clothing, for example, I have templates which help me save time when I'm doing my listings. You've got to be consistent. That is the hardest thing, in my opinion, over everything, is being consistent, because like I said earlier, you'll have days where you miss a listing goal. Maybe you wanted to list 5 for the day, but I don't know, your photographs wouldn't upload to your iCloud in time, so you had to skip that day and then list 10 the next day. Make sure you're listing 10 the next day, not just doing your normal 5. Make sure you are being consistent, because consistency is rewarded, not just with eBay, with everything throughout life. So make sure you're being consistent. Something that people may or may not talk about is the investment that you need to start eBay. The reason I started selling on eBay is because it required little to no capital, so little to no investment. You could just start selling things around the house, and then once you've got the revenue and profit, well, it's all profit because you've already paid for it, but the revenue from that, then you can take that out into the world and start sourcing stock from numerous places, so charity shops, car boots, wholesalers if you're feeling confident enough, but I wouldn't recommend that in the first instance. Facebook Marketplace, Gumtree, there's so many auctions, there's so many places you can source stock from, but you will need a little bit of investment to begin with. If you haven't got anything around the house that you don't want to sell, then you're going to need a small investment to get started. As your store grows, some days you'll be, I don't know, spending, say I list 5 items at £5 each as a cost of goods, so £25. There'll be days where I might not sell enough stock to cover that £25 investment for the day, but then there'll be other days where I go way above it. So you do have to have a small investment dependent on what you're selling. Some people can go to the car boot and buy cheap goods for £1, £2 and sell them for 10, 20, £50 upwards. My business model is a little bit different. I specifically sell clothing, but regardless of what category you're in, you will need an investment to get started. Number 6 is learn as much as you possibly can. Don't shy away from different brands, different big sizes, small sizes, in particular with clothing, but anything. I used to sell everything and anything. I remember picking things up from as novel as a, I don't know what you'd call it, but it was basically like a fountain that you could choose a liquid to drip down it, whether it was alcoholic or chocolate. It was like a chocolate fountain, for example. I paid £10 for it at a car boot sale in Cromer. This is years ago. It had a sell-through rate, so I was like, I'll pick it up. Took a little while to sell, but it sold. I learned that you could resell alcoholic or liquid fountains. So learn as you go. Learn everything. Learn as much as you possibly can. If you learn one new thing a day, that day's not been wasted. So number 6 is learn as much as you possibly can. Number 7, as much as you probably don't want to hear it, is customer service. I've worked in customer service jobs throughout my employed career for the majority of my life, so I understand the importance of it. But having good customer service is pretty paramount. You can be snotty and you can, be rude back to customers that are being rude to you. But one of the best bits of advice I ever got was, no matter what, the comment is or what people say, keep it professional. This is a business. This is a professional business that I hope you're running. Customers will get angry, customers can get, a little bit abusive, things like that. Just take the necessary professional precautions. If a buyer has got terrible feedback and they're looking to buy an item from you, and maybe they've lowballed you, then, maybe don't accept that offer, or maybe don't choose to sell to them. If they've bought it off buy it now, there's nothing you can do. But definitely make sure your customer service is professional. Above anything else, just make sure it's professional. That's going to drip through to your feedback score. I'll give you an example. Someone bought an item from me recently, and it was delivered to their neighbour, I believe, because they weren't in. I had the photographic proof of everything with the track delivery, but they weren't very. It's not like they were rude on message, but they were rude on messages. But keep it professional. You've got the tracking. Help them as much as you can. At the end of the day, they're messaging you to try and sort a problem out. So be as professional as you can, and just keep your customer service to a professional level. And I promise, if you keep it to a professional level, all these, like, you might get, like I said, the odd person be abusive or whatever like that. It won't faze you because it's a business. Don't take it personally. They don't know you, you don't know them. They might have been having a horrific day, as probably you may be as well, but just keep it professional. So keep your customer service to a professional level. And finally, one of the most important things is knowing your numbers. Know what profit you're going to make per item. Know how much you want to spend on stock for the month. Know how much you're approximately going to turn over for the month based on your previous figures. Have you got enough turnover for the month to pay for the stock? What's your profit per item? How much of your profit are you going to have to reinvest back into stock? Know your numbers, know them inside out. You'll learn about this as you go, as did I. But know your numbers. Some people track it all on a spreadsheet. I do mine by an average per item for my cost of goods. Sorry if I'm umming a lot, I'm exhausted. Today's been very busy, but know your numbers. Knowing your numbers will allow you to grow your store if you want to, because it will let you know how much you need to put into your store from a monetary value and a time perspective. So know how long it takes you to list an item, know how long it takes you to photograph an item, know how long it takes you to process an item, how long is it going to take to wash it, how long is it going to take to dry it. Know everything, know your numbers inside out, because that is going to enable you to grow your store, like I said, if you want to. If you want to keep it to a certain level, perhaps you're doing just below the VAT threshold and you want to stay below the VAT threshold, you're only going to know that by knowing your numbers. So know your numbers. Thank you for watching. Apologies if I've blabbered on, but these are just some points that I feel like you have got to know if you're selling on eBay, and if you want to start selling on eBay. It's very easy to go and type in eBay reseller and see people that are doing 7-8 figures per year, and you think, wow, this must be a fantastic business to get into, which it is a fantastic business to get into, but there are some things that you need to know along the way which can help you succeed. Above all, these aren't there to dishearten you. These are just things that are the reality of selling on eBay, and that you do need to know going into starting an eBay business. So if you got anything out of it, please leave a like, please comment, and please subscribe. If there is anything that you think you should know about selling on eBay as well, drop it in the comments. I read all the comments, I respond to them. So yeah, thank you for watching and have a great evening.